What's up, y'all? What's good? Welcome to the What Up Doe Show. It's your boy Dame D, and today I am joined with a few guests in the studio. We're going to be talking about a situation that happened in Marcy, New York, facility where you had multiple COs beating on Robert Brooks out of New York. I'll allow my guests to introduce themselves to the show.
DJ Shawnee D, straight out the D.
What up? What up? It's Big Day. Real talk with Big Day.
You can go ahead and
And
introduce
I'm
yourself.
Joyce. I'm
Okay, what's
Joyce,
up? What
just
up, though?
Joyce. What's up, y'all?
What up, though? What up, though?
Hey,
I want to
Joe.
thank each and every one of you guys from joining the show today. I don't know if each and every one of you guys saw a video of today's topic we're talking about, but you had a situation where you had Marcy correctional officers in a facility that beat a man who was handcuffed to the bed. They beat him to death, and they tried to somewhat cover
Damn,
this up. But,
come to the
I
bed.
believe LaShawn and
What?
Big Dave may have saw the video already. So I'm going to get you guys' first thoughts on what you think and what you saw in the video. So LaShawn, DJ Shiny D, go on ahead and start it off and give me your thoughts on what you thought and how horrible this video was.
Well, watching the video, I couldn't hear any audio,
Right.
but you could just see what was going on. And just the excitement in these white motherfuckers' eyes, just from beating him, you could tell that they was getting off on it. Like,
Yes.
they were happy to do it. And I think that is what pissed me off the most
Right.
because cops need to learn some de-escalation because that is your job to de-escalate. And it was 10 of y'all, and you mean to tell me that one black man caused y'all to do all of that, even if he
That's
spit in your face, even if he stepped on your
right.
Jordans, like, you can't de-escalate that situation, like whatever it was.
Right. And that's deep. And I'm gonna allow you to go ahead, Dave, and give your thoughts on that
Well,
situation. I know you may have already you heard it, so give everybody your testimony on what you think, how that situation was fucked up.
well, there was no de-escalation because they don't believe in that. Okay, especially when they're dealing with a black person. Okay, you have white boys that do all kinds of fucked up crimes, and when they arrest them, they take their ass to Burger King. Remember the boy Dylan killed all the people in South Carolina in the church? When they finally
Yeah,
caught up to him, they took him to Burger King. They
they
called,
sure did. They
they
What
did
up,
sure
all
Easy
that.
Easy?
did.
Come on in.
You know what I'm
I
saying? But the
remember that
minute
shit.
Yeah, the minute they catch a black guy, he doesn't get a break. See, it's not about de escalation. This is about punishing a nigga. And I'm just keeping it real. They had him in the infirmary, and it was torture time. You see, they had video on standby, but they didn't have the audio on so you can hear them. Because they
Exactly.
probably was
Right,
calling him all kinds of names
right.
while they was doing
Yes.
mother, you know. And so we know what this is about. Let's give
Yeah.
one more thing before you come in, Joyce. Let's give another example, like the white cop down there when the girl said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." Remember when they went to her
Oh
door, it was
yeah.
over a simple call
Yeah.
about intruders. And when they
Right.
found out it wasn't no intruders, that man went to go check her car. This motherfucker done snuck his ass in the house. And if it wasn't for his buddy having his camera on, we wouldn't even knew because they lied and
Exactly.
said
Mm.
They
something
tried to say
totally
she
different.
came towards her. But yeah, Joyce. But I want you to, before I give my input, I'm allow you to go ahead and give your input on what you think the
Uh,
situation was about.
well, well, what y'all said is I can't put it really any better than that, and I don't know the whole everything. I gotta Google and do my research and stuff. But the bottom line is it's the same rhetoric. It's the same everything that we've seen it before. We just don't know, I guess, what led to it. But it's just pretty much systematic racism. And then I also heard that the nurses allow him to. They didn't give him the proper care that he deserved, which that's not surprising because white supremacy is a system. It's not just a few people. It's a whole thing. Excuse me, hold on, y'all. The police, right here. I'm just about to put my
Yeah, do your thing, and see, and
phone down right
I'm
quick.
glad you said that because that was one of the issues that I was going to raise up.
Yeah,
No one in the
yeah,
infirmary,
yeah.
all that yelling and screaming that I'm quite sure he was doing. None of the doctors, none of the nurses came in there to come to his aid because he
That's
was
what I.
in the infirmary. So
Yes.
there should have been people in the infirmary that should have been to actual helping him, getting the help that he needed because that's why he
Right,
was in there.
right. That's what I thought, and that's what I'm saying. That's just like that guy. I cannot remember his name, but they pay his family off. They beat him, then they somehow his spine was severed and
Yeah,
things like that. And they put him in the paddy wagon anyway, and he was
yeah,
complaining and crying and all this other type of stuff. That's what they do. It's a whole system. It's the EMS, it's the nurses, it's the doctors, it's the
The fire
motherfuckers that
department, it's
they sit.
everybody.
Yes, it's everybody. It is a system, and that's really it. It's just
Well,
more than one person. It's more than one entity. It's a whole system that allows this to happen all of the time.
but one quick thing before Dane go. At the end of the day, we can go on and on and on and on and on. Remember the girl in Texas that was down there for college or something like that, and they pulled her over, and she got to arguing with the white cop, going back and forth about her rights, and they took her ass to jail, and then next thing you know, she came up dead in the precinct.
yeah. You talking
Yeah, that
about
type
the
of shit.
Sandra Bland?
Yeah,
Sandra Bland, yeah,
yeah,
Sandra
Yeah,
Bland.
it goes
yes.
on and on and on. And the only
Uh,
reason Joy Floyd got so much attention because a 16 or 17-year-old recorded that shit, and there was no way that they can let these white officers get away with it. See, they only
yeah.
execute them and to the law is when they have no other
They
alternative.
have no other choice.
See, if
Yeah,
they had a way to
yeah,
get out of that one, he wouldn't have went to
yeah,
jail.
Yeah.
But he
yeah.
couldn't get out of that video because it went all over the world.
Right. Well, I want to
Mhm.
go ahead. I want to give my opinion on this. They were cold blooded, bloodthirsty. You should have saw the aggression on their faces, how they was picking him up, grabbing him by his neck because they said he died
What?
by asphyxiation. So you had
Oh
one
wow.
officer that picked him up twice by his neck. Meaning that he's handcuffed. So that's almost like a lynching right there itself. They kicking this
Yes,
man, beating him in the
yeah.
sides, taking turns. I
What?
wish and I hope this audio comes out.
What?
This should be a lesson to all police officers out there.
What? What?
Every last one of those police officers need to be held accountable at a death penalty. There should be no escaping. There should be no there what do you call that that the police
Immunity,
have?
immunity,
Yeah, no
immunity.
immunity should
Yeah,
be
Community.
should that
you
should be
Yeah.
taken away. They need to be fired immediately and charges need to be brought upon, every officer that was in that room, and including all the doctors and nurses that was in the infirmary, that I know that heard
everybody
that man yelling and
trouble.
screaming. So LaShawn,
So
I'm
I
gonna
just
allow
want.
you to
I'm
go back
sorry.
in and give your thoughts
I'm
on
just.
just this whole
Yeah.
situation. Give me your thoughts about the doctors and the nurses that may have been in the infirmary and heard this and did nothing to come in there. You did not see that one doctor, one
Right.
nurse, or one person that worked in that facility, besides the COs in there, and they controlled the whole situation.
Well, I could tell you that. My thing has always been, when are we gonna get mad enough to do something about it? Like,
Right.
really. And I'm not talking about protesting. That shit has been done. Like, they have had their way with us
I
for
agree.
long enough. We got kids, we got children that are coming up missing by the hundreds every day.
Right.
We got people just being killed. My thing is, how can you protect me? And I've actually asked the cop this because, living in the hood in Chicago, I overheard a cop that came for a fight or something that was going on. And he said, I hate this fucking place.
Right.
And I asked him, okay, so how can we expect for you to protect us if you hate this place? You know what I mean? I think cops should live where they patrol, because you
Yes.
can't live
Yeah.
in the suburbs and then come to the city, or you
They
can't
don't give
live
a
in the good
shit.
part of you can't live in a good part of the city and then come and stay and protect the hood, and then we expect for
Mm.
it to be equal and just and all of that. You are being executioner, judge, jury. You are taking it upon yourself, and then I'm gonna add this too. I don't know how we can expect for white people to protect us if they don't even see us as equal. They don't see
Mhm.
us as the same amount of human as them. They see us as less than. So if you see us as less than, you can't protect me like you would protect your own children or people in your own neighborhood or your own kind. So it has to change. And to me, the systemic racism is so deep that it's not going to take until they lose like we've lost.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%, Lashad, and I kind of get what you were saying. It got to be, and I'm not trying to provoke nothing or put nothing out there, but, in order for this shit to stop, it almost need to be eye for an eye. You know what I mean?
That's
Because
why
they getting away
everybody
with
needs
this
to get
shit
their
with
gun
punity.
back.
There's nothing happening to none of these officers. They immediately need to be fired. And there's some they immediately need to be,
Sorry.
fired, put on charges, and this definitely needs to be I'm not going to say we definitely need to bring these guys to court. They definitely need to be charged with murder because that's what happened. And even in an infirmary, they tried to cover this up by saying that he died the next day, when clearly it shows that they ripped his clothes off and he was dead right there in the room that night during that beating. You know what I mean?
But
So, Big Dave,
but I would say,
I
I'm
want you to
sorry,
go
but
on
I
ahead
would
and
say,
elaborate on that. They tried to cover that up. That
but
night
they
they
always
tried to
do.
say, and we know because we see right there clear in the pictures that he was dead when
I
they
mean,
ripped the clothes off.
let's
I
get
believe that 45 to 50% of the black men that are in prison right now probably are in for trumped up charges for some bullshit that were framed. And I'm not saying that it's a whole bunch of people, but I'm saying, like, think about the beginning of time. They have been relying on us
Yeah,
for
planting shit, doing all
hundreds
type
of
of dirty
years,
shit. Yeah,
well,
and I
that's
agree
hundreds
with
that's
you.
of years.
that's a
And
fact.
at
And
some
that's how
point, you gotta say, okay, well, God will handle it in the afterlife, but there has to be a
Fuck
black
that.
law.
Yeah.
There
Hey,
has to
hey,
be a
but you
black
know
law.
what? I mean, that's a fact. They've been playing. Let's go back to the OJ case. Mark Furman is the reason why OJ got off, and OJ probably didn't do it. We don't know. But what we do know, that dirty cop was planning shit. Now let's
Right.
get to the meat of all this bullshit with the infirmary.
Mhm.
I was in the hospital for a year and a half, and I'll tell that story later. But at the end of the fucking day, it's a lot of prejudiced motherfucking doctors and nurses that's in these hospitals. They allow things to go on that shouldn't go on. They discriminate on
Yes.
patients. If you coming there from the streets because you're a streetwalker or a crackhead or something, they don't want to give you care even if your ass got insurance because they're judging you automatically. And then let's get back to an eye for an eye. I'm tired of us going in fucking court when we're killed by these
Protesting and
racists.
all this shit. It ain't working.
I'm tired of us going in court, talk about some, we forgive them. Hell no, I
Hell
don't
no.
forgive you. And that's the problem. We get like the girl went to the wrong apartment and killed the man and the family. And I forgive you. All you doing is giving them a reason to let their ass out. Because
See, that be that bullshit when they get that one lawyer, that Ben Crump motherfucker behind them. They be trying to preach that
man, fuck
non-violent shit.
it.
You know what I mean?
we're not we're
Go
not
ahead, Dave. My bad.
promoting violence. We're not promoting violence,
No,
but let's
and not
get
at
real.
all.
Let's get real with this shit. Every time we feel a certain way about our people's being took out, we get treated fucked up and gotta be blackballed because we can't say what we want to say.
Right.
Well, I'm
Get real with this
promoting
shit.
violence.
We tired of
I'm
this bullshit.
promoting violence. I'm promoting violence.
We
Okay.
tired of the
I'm
bullshit.
talking about the Muslim side. I'm talking about the Malcolm X side. Like, I'm over I'm over Martin. Martin was good at the time and
He was too
all of that.
nice.
No, I
He
and,
was
and I
too
agree with you 100%. LaShawn, there's something that need to be held accountable, more than just going to court. There needs to be an eye for an eye, because they getting away with this shit, with no with punity. So they're doing this shit with no hesitation. You should I'm quite sure everybody has saw this video, the way that they was beating on this man and choking him and knowing that they're on camera. That's what
Yeah.
gets me the
But
most.
the sad thing is though, they made these cameras based on things that's been happening to us. But once again, these motherfuckers don't turn on their cameras. They
At
do it on
all.
purpose. They have a clan meeting before they go in. We
See,
gonna beat the shit out of him.
Exactly. See, and that needs to be, and that's another thing that they need to be held responsible. Anytime that you come in contact with any person, when you having any dealings with any citizen, those cameras should automatically be turned on. Why is it that every time it's an incident that's dealing with one of us, those cameras are so magically not turning on or not on? So you're not even getting the full story. You're just getting their part of the story.
Well, because they've been taught to turn their cameras off. When they say the police is a fraternity, I hate that because you're not. You're actually servants of the state. You are servants to the public,
Thank
is what you
Thank you.
are. So
Right.
Thank
a
you.
fraternity means that you have your own bylaws inside of what we know. And I
Right.
don't like that. You're not. You work for us.
Yeah, so exactly. So
Yep.
that's exactly what
Yeah.
they did. They turned being perfect servants into their own fraternity. This blue line bullshit that totally needs to be wiped out. Every cop that was in there in that room needs to be held responsible, even even if you didn't lay your hands on him. Because no one came forward so far admitting no wrongdoing of any of the other cops. So they keep that blue line bullshit up. So they all won't be held responsible, but they can't be there won't be no I fear for my life in this situation because he was handcuffed when they brought him in there.
Well, I want to play a little devil's advocate for it
Go ahead.
with y'all real quick. All right, so just take for instance, if you were a cop, okay, if you each were cops, and somebody stole on you, like spit on you, stole on you, called you all kind of names, would you not get a little retaliation?
Oh, most definitely you're gonna get a little retaliation. You're gonna, once you get him in them cuffs, you're gonna do your little thing on him. So we know that's
So,
what goes
so
on.
that's the thing, though, because I would do it too. You're not gonna steal on me, and I'm not gonna get my leg back. I'm gonna get my
Right.
leg back, nigga. As soon as you in them
Answer
cuffs,
the question,
you
Lachey.
know. But to me, the way they are doing it, that's not lick back. That is we playing tonight. Let's play with this nigga tonight.
Yeah.
Let's get our rocks off and then go home and love on our own kids
These
while
people,
we fuck up somebody else's life.
you
You
said,
know what I mean?
you said
It's
earlier,
almost like they go ahead, Big Dave, but it's almost like they purging when they dealing with us.
oh, they are
Well,
though.
but they got on tape where this guy, and I can't remember, it was somewhere in Alabama or Atlanta or somewhere, and he was a captain, and he was talking to a cop in another city. I believe he was talking to a cop in Atlanta, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to get my boys together so we could come to Atlanta and go hunting. We ain't
Mm.
been hunting for niggas in a while."
Oh wow.
Well,
And he said this on tape?
Wow.
He
once
got the
again,
tape.
they get
So
to the
what I'm saying
gritty.
is all these kids that are missing, all these people, there is sex trafficking, yes. But how do we know that they haven't been just used or just abused or just say satanic rituals
Well,
or whatever by these
let's
fucking
get,
cops? Because they the
let's get,
ones, because really it's a double-edged sword. I'm sorry, Big Dave. It's a
no, go
double-edged
ahead.
sword because they are the ones that are committing the crime, and then they are also the ones investigating the same crime.
Right.
And that's the
Exactly. And
problem.
then
So they
prosecuting your
make the
ass.
rules. They make the rules, they plant what they want to plant, they make the evidence look the way they want it look, and it's overlooked
Right.
because they didn't put their own
You,
ass. But to me, if you gonna be a cop, then you need an outside source to investigate. It
I
shouldn't be
agree.
the cops investigating.
Themselves. But go ahead, Big Dave.
I agree with you 100%. It's them policing us. It's them interrogating us. It's them investigating us. It's always them, them, them. You know what I'm saying? And another big thing that you said earlier, why is they when they're on a leave of absence because they're suspended while they're investigating, they're going to make sure they pay them. They need to
Yep. They
start.
always get paid.
No, they need to start taking these motherfuckers pensions. They need to
Hmm.
start making them scared to death. They even want to touch us, but you know why they
But
not? No, hold on. You know why they don't? They not going to do this because they think we don't care about ourselves.
But
See,
do we?
so
Do
many of us
do
and
we?
so much harm to ourselves. When they
Do
see that, they say, "See,
right.
look at them. They kill themselves every day, so it's okay for us to kill a couple more."
Thank you. Yeah,
yeah, but
absolutely.
what they
That's
don't
exactly what
do
they
is
look
say
at us
that.
and say.
This
That's
is
not
the
a good
system that
excuse.
was designed to do. This is why guns are in our neighborhoods, is
Of
because they
course.
want us to kill. The same thing would happen to them. See, opioid wouldn't be such a big drug if it wasn't affecting white people more than it
Of
was black.
course.
Right.
Because when it was crack, it
Right,
was
because the shit
a
was
big push to get
right. And
people
when it
off.
was in the hoods and stuff, they ain't give a fuck. But now that it's killing white kids and fucking Novi,
Y'all
not
remember the
everybody
two?
got fucking, not everybody got Narcan and
And
shit.
y'all
It's shit
Yeah.
remember?
like that. So yeah,
Right.
for
Y'all remember
sure.
Tim the Tool guy?
Go ahead, Dave.
Remember he got caught with them 2 kilos. What he get? He got 2 years.
Mm.
But when the nigga get caught with that shit, he get
Oh,
truck charges.
he getting life.
See what I'm saying? It's always a different. Like the white boy, his mama drove his ass up to Wisconsin, and he started joining the motherfuckers at the stores, helping protect the stores, and he killed a few people. And guess what? Donald Trump and the city councils and all the motherfuckers in the house got him lawyers, and he got off. But let us drive our ass down to another state, and start protecting buildings and kill somebody and watch how quick they lock our ass up and watch how quick they kill us.
No,
And we can
I
say all
was
this
going.
now, but
right.
it's gonna get worse
Yeah.
because
Now I want to
Project
ask this question.
2025, yeah, Project 2025 say they got a right to stop you and they don't need no cause.
I
So
was
And
what?
gonna say, did y'all
Mhm.
notice? Well, I just wanted to say something real quick, Damon. Before I
Go
know
ahead,
you
Joyce.
got probably a schedule and stuff, but real quick, I don't know if y'all noticed that when Trump be in office, white people act different. Did y'all notice that?
Mhm.
Like, I don't know if anybody noticed when Trump was in office, white people um was real brave. Like they was more brazen. They already fucking act
Mhm.
like they run the world, which they in ways they do. But when
when him
Trump is
in
in
office, they get
office,
more aggressive.
yes, when Trump is in office, he gives them that power and that protection, like, don't worry, I'm here. It's like a subliminal thing or
Right.
whatever. And I don't know if y'all noticed, it was so much shit when Trump was in office. Even when Obama was in office, I don't know if anybody knows, it was a lot of black men that was murdered and killed for otherwise no reason. It was like they was kind of still kind of trying to
She
Okay,
broke
look
up.
like Joyce freezing up a little bit, but I'm
Mhm.
until she come back, I'm gonna ask this question to y'all. Why don't you see? And this kind of goes back to what you were saying about we need to get these white officers out of our community, police in our communities. Why don't you see any of the black officers in their communities doing the same things to their people? You know, you never see incidents of our officers doing the same shit to their people. You know, beating them out
That's
front.
not
So
true.
you know, I want to bring this to the forefront. You know, why don't we see this coming from our officers?
I don't think that's the truth. I've seen black people, black cops abuse black children
No, I'm
too.
talking about like how
No, he
their
talk
officers
about
is
white
doing this shit
children.
to our people. Why don't you
He talk
see
about
our
white.
yeah? So why don't you think you see any of that going on in their facilities in their neighborhoods, you know, and things like that.
Because
You
they
know, why not?
scared. Because they're gonna be held to a different standard because they're black.
Right.
They're not gonna be protected like the white officers
Right. So
unless
shouldn't this
they
be a message to our officers, you know, that they see this shit going on, that they blatantly, you know, murdering our peoples on camera in front, you know, shouldn't this be a message to our officers like, look, we not gonna stand up for this shit, you know, and shouldn't us as the citizens hold our officers accountable for this shit?
of course.
Well, you got to deal with retaliation. You know what I mean? Like I deal with retaliation at my own job for standing up for myself.
Right.
So I can't imagine what other cops would do to a cop that has said something or told. He might as well hang it up. He can't be a cop there no more. And then what other police precinct is going to hire him if he's been labeled a
Oh, he
snitch?
done.
It's not going to
He
ever
done the
work.
you
Yeah, so I mean, so in that situation, they're getting away with doing it all this shit to our people, but you know, you hear no incidents or no reports of you know, our officers doing the same thing to their people. You know, it's a fucked up reality, you know, that we live in.
our officers do the opposite. I just seen officers, black officers, treat white kids with respect
We're
when they
respect, the
pull
most
them
utmost
over.
respect.
And then they pull us over, get your black ass out the car.
Yes. And I wanted and that
Cover hell
and I wanted to bring that to the forefront, for any officers watching the show, you know, and just to put that out there, because you don't hear about this and you don't see that, and it's almost like you were saying, LaShawn, and I'm not trying to push, no violence or nothing on the show, but it's almost like we got to take this eye for an eye, this keep going on and nothing is happening, they're getting away with this shit, it's like almost like what's the saying everybody say they playing in front of our face.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
first of all, like I said, if you still consider us as three-fifths a man, three-fifths a man, you definitely, then to me, then you see us as property. You see us as a pet, an animal. You see us as something other than you. And so as long as that's the case, you're never going to be able to protect me.
Yeah,
I
at
don't
all,
even want,
because
I wouldn't even, I don't want to call the police for real. Like, I will if I have to, but who wants to call the police if you're unsure if they're going to protect you? That
yeah,
lady that was shot in her kitchen, she called the police.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
And they
She called the police.
he told her, and we did a show on that. He told her exactly what he was gonna do. He was like, "I'll shoot you in your face," and did it.
Mhm.
But damn, I almost lost my train of thought. But yeah, there's nothing. There's no get back. In these situations. Oh, okay, that's what I was getting ready to say. You should have saw the anger on these cops' faces. How they was punching him and hitting him and grabbing him by the throat. And then ripped his clothes off of him and then tried to cover it up at the end and tried to say he died overnight. But that's what I was getting ready to say. There was no sympathy, no empathy for that young man that night in that room. It was almost like it was a lynching, a beating, judge, jury, and execution in that room. I definitely want to know what he did before they brought him in that room.
I
Yeah,
don't
you know what?
care.
And I bet you, if you look at all the men, and I hate to sound this vulgar, but I bet you all the penises were hard. I bet you.
Say that
And when
again, LaShawn.
something, I bet you all those cops' penises were hard because they
Oh,
got
most
off
definitely.
on beating that black man.
Yeah,
And so
you
to
should have
me,
saw their
it's
faces.
almost like, yeah, it's almost like how can we can't, nothing we say can compete with something that gets you off. You know what I mean? Like if you like kids, it don't matter what they do, what kind of rehabilitation they give you.
Yes.
If you're
Yeah.
attracted to children, you're gonna be attracted to children. That's what
Yeah.
turns you on.
Uh,
And if you're attracted to beating up black people, unarmed black men, then that's gonna always get you
You know
off.
what? I'm
And
gonna
you
say
should
this. To me, it almost seemed like it's a ritual for each and every one of those police officers to beat when you come in the police force that you gotta beat on a black man. Because they do it with so much joy, so much happiness. No one's trying to stop no one because they know all this shit is fucked up and it's wrong,
Hey,
but no one stops each other. So I think they almost like you said, they get a hard on, and it's almost like a ritual, like they have to do this shit. Go ahead, Big Dave.
it's the good old boy club. Let's just go back to the white men in Atlanta that chased that boy all through the neighborhood and shot him down. They chased him forever and shot him down until they killed him,
oh,
till they,
Aubrey.
till they
Mhm.
executed him. And then the damn police came and nodded took the hat off and bowed to them and then lied.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that mother and lawyers keep fighting, them guys would have got off.
Yeah,
So it's a boys' club. It's a
we
boys'
just recently
club.
did a story not too long ago about a young man from I think he was from Chicago, but he was a CDL driver, and I think he had a drop off in North Carolina, and they found him hung from a tree.
And they said, "Oh, we
Yeah.
investigated it. He wasn't hung." It's always some bullshit.
Yeah,
Just like John said early, they are the investigators. They are the ones who interrogate us. They are the ones who arrest us. They are the ones who question us. So they do what they want. They do exactly what they want. They
Okay,
bait you
but to
into
flip the
things they
script,
want you to be in.
but to flip the script, if this was a black man that had killed Robert Brooks, um, he wouldn't be safe in his neighborhood
That
because
white
they
way.
would be after him. They would be after him. Black
I was
people would,
gonna say white folks stick
oh yeah,
together
but
like
most
why
that.
is
definitely.
it that we're not outraged enough to do something when it's a white cop killing us. Like we talk about it, we angry about it, we feel it, but we not doing anything.
We
We're
don't
not
do
Yeah,
shit
you
about
you know it's almost like a show that I was watching. Like they names need to be put out there, their addresses need to be put out there, so there could be some type of street justice. Because that's what they're doing. They're taking the law into their own hands. They're the judge, jury, and the executioner. So like I said, I'm not promoting any violence over here, but like I said, I heard this on the podcast show. In the past before, their names need to be put out there where they stay and all that.
And
But
Don't
I
what's
bet
hide,
gonna
you
happen?
don't don't
Because
hide
Mark,
and
their
what,
don't hide
what,
their
what,
identities.
I bet
but
you
what
some
about
shit.
Mark Zimmerman? Mark Zimmerman, who
Yeah,
killed Trayvon Martin. Okay, so he walking free.
yeah. All these guys are walking up free.
Everybody
And,
know
and,
that
and
he's
guess
free.
what? Every time somebody see his ass, they should be fucking him up.
Yeah,
Yes, he should not be safe
And that's
on
a fact.
these
And that's the
blocks.
problem with us. We too damn friendly.
and
We
this
too
is what I say
goddamn
Yeah.
each.
friendly. And
This is what I
everybody
say
want to
each
be
and everybody needs to do. Everybody needs to zoom in on that video because you're able to zoom in, see the names and the badges on
God
every
dang.
last one of those
But what
officers.
not cutting you off, bro.
Go
But this
ahead.
is what I don't. Niggas is tough and bad when they dealing with they fucking own.
Yeah,
Everybody want to go get the AK, the AR-15. Everybody want to come 10 deep and stump somebody down, but they do not go in these white areas fucking with them, though.
at all.
Yeah, but you'll
Yeah,
fight over a neighborhood that ain't yours.
yeah.
That
So
your mom and daddy don't own a brick in, and you will fight over a block that ain't
I was
yours.
gonna say, or kill somebody that didn't call your phone to to let you know that it's okay to come to a hood that nigga you ain't got a fucking stake in. Shit like that be just that's
yeah,
y'all actually that's insane to
and
me too.
and
That's
we
insane
and
to
we
me
as the
too.
people, as the people, as the citizens of the community, we need to stop that shit. We need to put the end to that. Allowing them to be able to come in our neighborhoods, police us and murder us at the same time.
Yeah, that's
we're
why police
allowing
have
it and we putting up with this shit.
Yeah, police have to patrol and investigate. It shouldn't be a judicial system. It shouldn't. There
Yeah,
should be cops, and then there should be another corporation that does this. And the thing about it is, it's so much corporate greed that money speaks. Money talks, favors talk. So even if there was a different agency that did the investigation, it wouldn't matter because they would be tied into each other somehow.
yeah,
And I do a favor if you do one for me. I think the only thing that can be done is if police officers have to be residents of the neighborhood that they patrol. Their information needs to be public record. We
yes.
need to know where they live. We need to know where they're at.
And,
And if they're held to the fullest, because to me, you've been trained to handle this situation.
and
And if
and
you don't, then you get double time.
And I'm gonna add one more thing to it. They applied immunity need to be taken away because if you're actually doing the job that you're supposed to be doing and you're doing it right, you shouldn't have to worry about being prosecuted. If you're not doing nothing wrong. So they walk around
Right.
with this applied immunity. And it's protecting them and it's allowing them to get away with the shit that they're doing. Point blank. That's a closed case. If you take away that applied immunity, the murders would stop overnight. Them beatings that you would see would stop overnight. Because they would be held responsible. They wouldn't have any baggage of the courts. You see what I'm saying? So I
And a
think
clear
that
for
needs
two.
that needs to stop. So
A clear for two.
but yeah, Big Dave, I'll give you one. I'll give us your last words on this.
All I can say is until we change how we do each other and start dealing with stuff another way, we're gonna keep going through this problem. We're gonna keep being on the news, talk about my baby. We're gonna keep going to court, talk about my baby. Until we change how we do things and put our foots down and mean business, we're gonna keep going through this. Nothing's going to change because they're showing us every day.
Yeah,
And that's
they've
bad.
showed their hand already. But Joyce, give us your last word on this topic.
Um, I I don't even want to say last word because I got a feeling we'll probably have to revisit this for some reason.
Oh, for
But
sure, we probably will.
um, I would just say I agree with Big Dave. I agree with everyone, but I do agree with Big Dave. I don't want to sound harsh on us, but we have to love each other more so that I think other people will see that. We publicly kind of despise each other. I think that does play a role in how other races view us. I know that that's
I
not an
agree.
excuse at all. However, we do have to be better to each other. I do also feel like uh, the ones that can really make a bigger difference, celebrities, people with this money, financial, philanthropic influence, I feel like they have a lot of power too. They don't use it for whatever reason. Jay-Z and them seeing this shit just like we seeing it. So
Right.
I
Yeah.
do feel like they have a lot of influence too. So
Right.
I don't know if that will ever be a thing, but I think celebrities speaking out more on it, that I think that would be bring more uh meaningfulness to it or whatever. But I guess the bottom line is I just think Black people, we just have to love each other more and just not keep taking what we've been taking, because
Right.
we're building this world, we making shit happen too, we pay our taxes, we take care of our families. We love our families just like them. It's not like
Right.
we're exempt.
Right.
So this racism that keeps happening, it's 2025, and I do think it needs to be some kind of something that just stops all of this in its tracks. I don't know what that's gonna be or what it would be, but maybe it does have to start with us. I
Right.
don't know.
And before you give your last words, I want to say this too, Joyce. Kind of like what you were saying, we far as us showing, a little bit more interest in ourselves. We got to do something about this, like I'm not
Yeah.
saying eye for eye, but once someone step up and like one of these cops get, what needs to be done to them, I think this should have stopped. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying
Right,
like
because
nothing in
it is
court.
gonna
You know what I
be
mean? So, but yeah, that's we need
right,
to align ourselves with
absolutely.
something like that.
Because
When we
after a
see this
while, it
going
is gonna
on,
be with what LaShonda. I'm sorry. I was
you
just saying
good?
I
Go
think
ahead.
it is gonna be.
But yeah, I think once we start taking this shit upon our own hands and dealing with this shit, you see what I'm saying? And letting them know that you're not gonna sit up here and just be murdering our peoples like this. You've been doing this shit for
Right.
multiple years, So I think once we
But do
take
you
a little bit of
see, do
street
y'all
justice
see
into
how
our
it
hands, that
can,
should have stopped. Go ahead, Joyce.
but do y'all see how it can become an eye for an eye because there's nothing
Yeah.
else happening. And
It's
that
almost
is
like they
why
it's almost like they're forcing our hand for an eye for an eye. But go
right,
ahead, LaShawn, give us your last
right.
words.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that, to piggyback off of what Joyce said, we have Black people in very high places, and I expect for them to do their fucking jobs. We have Black
Yes.
people making laws and doing things, changing shit, but they need to make sure that they stay on this. I'm mad that Kamala never even brought it up. So, and it is an issue and it causes the most unrest and the most division in this country. So I feel like if we can't come to a mutual agreement, then it's got to be a tear for a tear. If my mama cry, your mama cry.
Right. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to say this before we end the show,
And that's
and I
fucked
agree
up.
with each and every one of y'all saying, and I have, white co-workers that I work with every day, that I deal with, I don't want to make it seem like it's a racial thing, but the
No,
police
Yeah,
themselves
no.
are making it seem
No.
like it's a racial thing,
but
we're
we
not
tired of
trying to,
it too. We tired of
yeah, we're tired of seeing the bullshit of our people out
Right.
here dying, getting murdered by the police, so if you guys are not stepping up and doing nothing and holding your own people, which is the police
Yeah.
accountable for this shit, we got to start doing this shit,
And,
so
Yeah.
we're not making it a race thing. We're just actually seeing that it actually is a race thing because they're
hey,
not doing this shit to their own people,
Right.
so
Dave,
but before we
before
end
you
the show, go
close
ahead,
it
Dave.
out, but see how we gotta keep saying we're not trying to make it a racial thing.
Yeah.
See how we gotta keep explaining our fucking self
Mm-hmm.
time one of us get hurt. See, every time, this is the problem. We gotta keep explaining our fucking self. But these motherfuckers ain't explaining nothing. They come in these motherfucking, they go in the precinct with they knowing they didn't have these cameras on or none of that and tell they lies and go home to their fucking families and then show up in court with the motherfucking police defending them in court.
Yeah, and
Gotta
Well,
that
apologize. But us,
see, and that's what that
oh,
applied immunity does. It sends them home to their
yeah,
family, and they don't have to worry about
but
that
we gotta
shit.
apologize. Fuck this. We
well,
gotta
Yep.
guess what?
apologize.
The
It don't make
scriptures, The script is going to be now that it's really public now and it's causing public outrage. Now they're going to come up with some other evidence to show where he was threatening to them.
Well, do we know that's a lie? When they do that, LaShawn, they know it's a lie because we saw that man handcuffs. They can't say they fear for their life on this one.
No,
So
they
they'll have
can't.
to come with something else.
You know
Where
what's
did
got to
y'all see
happen?
this video?
I'll send it to
Uh-uh.
you.
Y'all know what's got to happen?
Okay.
White folks
I'm so
that
scared.
got kids that watch this should be coming out saying that's a shame and shouldn't be happening.
But
I
they
agree.
Because if
are.
it was the other way around, they'd be all on the news crying and hollering. Everybody just sit back and watch.
Right. Yeah. Well, look, Joyce, let everybody know where they can reach you. Let everybody know what you got going on.
Well, I just nothing, just chilling for right now. Just work, Christmas break. But just I'm on Instagram as a black girl, and then I'm on Facebook as my name, Joyce Washington. And that's really all. I'm not on social media too much, but I'm on there enough to catch some stuff.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, Big Dave, let everybody know where they can reach you. Let them know what you got going on.
Well, let's real talk with Big Dave. I'm a podcaster, new in the game, been doing it for a little while. Things are starting to come up a little bit. You can get me on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, Real Talk with WIT, Big Dave. You can get me on Facebook, Big Dave Crawford. And you can catch me on the email if you want to get on the show or talk about anything, and we can make some stuff happen. You can get me on D as in Dave Cross, CRAW, one boy two at gmail.com.
Okay, and make sure y'all go check him out and subscribe to his channel. You know, it's an up and coming channel. He
Oh
growing.
yeah.
He talk about a lot of good stuff. Good guy, good dude. DJ Shiny D, let everybody know what you got going on where they can reach you.
Well, I'm just making this little shea butter. That's all I do.
I think I
Hey,
still
got
got
that shea
mine on
butter.
from last night. I'm still shining.
Yes, if you need
Oh,
to,
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to put my.
yeah, any sense, I can match your liking. Look at me at Gloss with one S, GLOS, SheaButters.com.
Okay, and make sure y'all get in contact with her. You know, support each and one of our peoples up here on this panel. On this panel, that's what we're about, supporting each and every last one of us. You know, we all got something going on. We all got something to offer to each and everybody. You know, DJ Shiny D, give us the last word of the day. Give us the word
I
of the
would
day.
say, I would say that everybody's number one priority should be making it home safe. It's a shame that we have to have a different script when being stopped by the police or when interacting with the police. But just remember, your number one goal is not to make a point or is not to be right. It is to make it home. So do what you got to do to make it home at night to your family.
There we go. You know, and I need for you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It helps the channel grow. You know, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for coming on the show today. You know, it definitely helps and it makes a difference in what we're trying to do over here. You know, but it's been another one. It's your boy Dame D, and we are out. Peace.
Uh,
Peace.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Mr. Brooks.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Amen.
sir.
I need to. Hey, dang.